Welcome to Perspectives, a special presentation of the Power of the Patient Project. Today's guest is Dr. Michael Greger. And now, here is your host, Charlotte Grinnell.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Grinnell, and welcome to Perspectives presented by the Power of the Patient Project. My guest today is Dr. Michael Greger. Dr. Greger is a physician, New York Times bestselling author, and internationally recognized speaker on nutrition, food safety, and public health issues. A founding member and fellow of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, Dr. Greger is licensed as a general practitioner specializing in clinical nutrition. His latest books, How to Not Die and How Not to Diet, became instant New York Times bestsellers. And his two latest books, How to Survive a Pandemic and How Not to Diet Cookbook, were released in 2020. All proceeds he receives from the sales of his books go to charity. His nonprofit, nutritionfacts.org, is the first science-based, non-commercial website to provide free daily videos and articles on the latest discoveries in nutrition. On their website, it is stated that the goal is to present you and your doctor with the results of the latest and peer-reviewed nutrition and health research presented in a way that is easy to understand. There are more than 2,000 health topics freely available with new videos and articles uploaded almost every day. Dr. Greger has lectured the Conference on World Affairs, testified before Congress, and was invited as an expert witness in the defense of Oprah Winfrey in the infamous meat defamation trial. Welcome, Dr. Greger. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's such an honor to have you as part of our web series.
So happy to be here.
Could you start by telling us what inspired you to create the widely successful nonprofit nutritionfacts.com?
.org,
sorry.
Yeah, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. It all started with my grandma. Actually, I was just a kid when my grandma was sent home in a wheelchair to die. She had diagnosed with end-stage heart disease, already had so many bypass surgeries, basically run out of plumbing at some point. Confined in a wheelchair, crushing chest pain, her life was over at age 65. And then she heard about this guy, Nathan Pritikin, one of our early lifestyle medicine pioneers. And what happened next is actually detailed in Pritikin's biography. It talks about Frances Greger, my grandmother. They wheeled her in, and she walked out. Though she was given a medical death sentence at age 65, thanks to a healthy diet, was able to enjoy another 31 years on this planet until age 96 to continue to enjoy her 6 grandkids, including me. So that's why I went into medicine. That's why I practice lifestyle medicine, why I started nutritionfacts.org, why I wrote How Not to Die, why all the proceeds from all the sales of my books are all donated to charity. I just want to do for everyone's family what Pritikin did for my family.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great story. And on the website, it states that there are diets proven to not only prevent and treat, but reverse our number one killer, heart disease, along with other deadly diseases such as type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, yet doctors get little, if any, formal nutrition training. Why do you think that doctors are not given proper nutrition training?
There's a number of reasons, but it's true that doctors have a severe nutrition deficiency in education. Doctors just aren't graduate without this powerful tool in the medical toolbox. And part of it is lack of reimbursement. Part of it is time constraints. Certainly, pharmaceutical industry plays a role in medical education and training. You can ask your doctor when's the last time they were taken out to dinner by Big Broccoli. It's probably been a while. But, I think we have a very similar situation kind of to the 1950s with smoking. So back in the 50s, most doctors actually smoked. The American Medical Association was encouraging people to smoke, with actually saying that it's beneficial on balance and that smoking in moderation is healthy. Even though we had decades of science going back to the 1930s linking lung cancer and smoking. And so it wasn't until the 1960s where the first Surgeon General's report came out and the powers that be officially acknowledged it. But by then, 7,000 studies. They said, you'd think maybe after the first 6,000 studies, it could give people a little heads up or something, but it took 7,000 studies before finally it was acknowledged. But in that time, millions of people died. Even today, smoking kills, cigarettes kill about 500,000 Americans every year. But our diet kills even more. Tobacco has been bumped down to killing number 2 in the United States, and the number 1 killer of Americans now is the American diet.
Wow. And so you also recently released a book called How to Survive in the Pandemic. If you could pick one message or piece of information that you hope that readers can learn from this book, what would it be?
Well, the most important thing is preventing the next pandemic. There's certainly things we can do to protect ourselves and our families during the current pandemic, but it's a pretty wimpy pandemic as pandemics go, with a case fatality rate maybe, I don't know, 1 in 250 people who get infected, 1 in 400 people. I mean, that's an exceedingly, I mean, as pandemics go. So that would categorize it as like a category 1 or 2 pandemic out of the CDC's category 1 through 5 pandemic scale. And so odds are the next pandemic will be worse. And so, the essential question I address in the book is, what can we do to prevent the emergence of future pandemics? And so, as bad as COVID-19 has been, there may be an even greater threat waiting in the wings of chickens. According to the CDC, the leading candidate for the next pandemic after COVID-19 is a bird flu virus by the name of H7N9, which is 100 times deadlier than COVID-19, with a 40% case fatality rate, almost a flip of the coin, killing about the first 600 out of the first 1,500 people that have been infected by it. And so should it acquire easy human-to-human transmissibility, we have the next pandemic, and could truly be devastating to civilization as we know it. So that's why we need to reform the food system before it's too late. When we, overcrowd thousands of animals, beak to beak or snout to snout atop their own waste in these cramped, filthy football field-sized sheds, which is a breeding ground for disease. The sheer number of animals, the overcrowding, the stress crippling their immune systems, the ammonia from decomposing waste, burning their lungs, lack of fresh air, lack of sunlight. All of these factors together, what you have is kind of the perfect storm environment for the emergence and spread of these so-called super strains of influenza. They're the ones that can use a little social distancing right now. The bottom line is it's not worth risking the lives of millions of people for the sake of cheaper chicken.
Wow, that's really terrifying to think about. I didn't know that was even a thing, that's an emerging thing. So I'm glad that I know that so I can look into that. And so millions of people follow you and learn from your research and your advice. And these people look forward to learning the truth from you about the food that they eat and the exercise programs that they follow. In your opinion, why is there so much interest in this field?
Oh my God, what could be more important than the health and well-being of yourself and your family, right? I mean, regardless of what you want to do. Let's say, all you care about is sports. You got to be healthy. Let's say all you care about is lying on the couch and watching TV. You still got to be healthy, right? You want to live a long time and watch the next season of your stupid reality show. I mean, like, name one goal in life where being healthy doesn't help, right? I mean, and so however selfish people are, right? They want to, see the grandkids grow up. They want to, whatever it is, whatever goal you have in your life, health and longevity are the way to go. And that's why there is these massive industries trying to parasitize on people's fears, whether it's the diet industry or the processed food industry. I mean, they know people are desperate for information on this, and so they're willing to throw all sorts of profitable garbage in people's direction. That's why there's so much nutritional noise and nonsense out there. I just want there to finally be an evidence-based source to kind of cut through all the garbage. And so, nutritionfacts.org is non-commercial. We don't accept, corporate donations. Everything's free. We're not selling anything. It's a non-commercial site. Because if there's ever a decision to be made based on the best available balance of evidence, it should be the decisions about our health and well-being and that of our family. And so it's so important. That's what we need objective evidence about. And so that's why I think so many people are attracted to this work.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. And I think as I get older, I become more and more interested in it, but I still have a lot of work to do, I think, when it comes to getting my knowledge on that. And so kind of tying into that, could you share your advice to those who have little to no knowledge about nutrition and how they can get started on their healthy eating journey?
Oh, sure. There's lots of things we can do it's not all or nothing. It's not black or white. Any movement we can make towards improving our health can have a significant benefit. So, for example, if there were just 3 things to add to your diet, it would be some kind of legumes like beans, split peas, chickpeas, and lentils, like eating hummus. Number 2 would be eating dark green leafy vegetables, the healthiest vegetables. Number 3 would be eating berries every day, the healthiest fruits. If you just did those 3 things, beans, berries, greens, that would go a long way towards improving one's health. And if there were just 3 things to first eliminate from your diet, would be trans fats, which thankfully are being eliminated from the food supply. 2 would be processed meats, bacon, ham, hot dogs, lunch meat, sausage, which are known human carcinogens, meaning we know they cause cancer in people. And number 3 would be liquid candy, soda, sugar-sweetened beverages. So you just add those 3, get rid of those 3, and you're already well on your way.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely keep that in mind. So yeah, that was all the questions I had for you. If there's any last things that you want to throw in there, last pieces of advice.
Just want to share the good news. We have tremendous power over our health, destiny, and longevity. The vast majority of premature death and disability is preventable with a healthy enough plant-based diet and lifestyle.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. And I'm really excited to get this on the website and to have people learn like I did from this. So thank you so much.